Okay, go ahead.
What's up, everybody? It's Keen, it's Moni, with a special guest, Millie Vanilli. And this is We Have That at Home Brunch.
Brunch. And we have our little song we're trying to get together for you. I think I can give the people a snippet.
Give them a snippet of what we're working on.
That's a little snippet. Hold on, it's cute. It's going to be ready next time, but we wanted to intro it for y'all because we singing and playing and grooving and moving.
For those of you who think you need more at home.
For those of you who feel they need to ask for anything. We have that at home brunch.
We eating, laughing, talking, and having a good old time, and everybody's welcome, y'all.
Brunch. We talking everything that you always be thinking about.
Millie, do you know what this is a sample from?
This chilling gives you feel and make you shout. We have that at home brunch.
All right. We're going to put that on. We're going to add to it. It's going to be amazing. Super excited.
It's going to be a good time.
Yes. Happy Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm so happy to be here on a Sunday, especially in the afternoon. I feel like it's motivation. So I make sure I get up and I'm doing something and I'm productive. I like to take care of like everything on Sunday, like for the week. So I can, set myself up for success. So I feel like after this, I'm destined for great things today.
I know
that's not for greatness. What do we have on our brunch menu today?
On our brunch menu, you know what? I was thinking we could talk about something, and I think this is interesting, about adult friendships. Like, how do you make adult friends? Because, when you're younger, you are forced into social circles. You go to school, you have a class, and you naturally gravitate to the people that you are around a lot. So I guess,
right,
if they're not at work, where are we meeting our friends at?
I think I meet them in random places.
Like at the bar, hanging out?
Yeah, like people are still on my socials that I've met in clubs years ago.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure like if they still remembered, if there was still like, if it was just for that night, but people still talk and reach out and all of that.
So even that initiation, I think I'm awkward. Like, even like I've said this before on the podcast, I have a hard time just going out by myself, but I need to like go out to the bar. This is what the ladies have been telling me: go out to the bar, just sit and be cute and be found. I was like, I'm gonna go and try to be found, but I still have not done it. So it's like, if I do go out by myself and traveling, also talk to people who travel by themselves. Like that's a great way to do it because you can meet up with people. But it's like even like going out alone and then taking that step to like, hey, I don't know. I feel
like I've added people from being in the concert, standing next to them.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I love that.
I know. Usually I'll meet friends either work or a friend of a friend. Like I don't know if I got to the place of like, let me go out by myself. Oh, and I found a friend there. Like not yet.
I want to because I know people that are like that. And I'm like, that you have to be bold to do that.
Yeah.
Millie, are you ever interested in that? Or are you more standoffish when it comes to like meeting or mingling with strangers?
No, I'm pretty good with mingling with people. Usually, like, especially in a setting where it's like real upbeat, it makes it easier to like mix and mingle versus like if we were kind of intimate, then you kind of look around like, I don't really know what everybody's feeling and how they like what they want to talk about is weird. But in upbeat settings, I can be like, oh yeah, we could vibe together. But I don't know if I made the connection, like exchange social media or number. I didn't get that far. I can have a great time
after you get the number, like actually making the call and being like, hey, let's hang out.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
I'm not there yet either.
You're really an adult when you can do that.
Mm-hmm. For real. Because it's literally about just like having a common interest and being like, yo, let's hang out.
Yeah. I've been, I don't know, maybe I'm hyped at times because I've exchanged info. I remember one time I was out with friends. We were at a casino. We exchanged info. The ladies were like musicians and we talked about linking up like at one of their shows or something afterwards. I don't think I ever made it to a show.
Okay.
we were still in touch. I think that was on Facebook. I'm not on there anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, I think this is also goes into that whole like when you have a friend group and you'll be like, who's the new person?
Yeah, right.
What they bow? What are they gonna come in here and mess everything up? I need to know where they work, how they think, how they act when they on out, like everything. Like it's that. I don't know how y'all feel about new people in your friend group.
It depends for me. It's really the first interaction, the first vibe that I'm like, all right. If you come in and you kind of seem like, oh, she kind of open, she kind of feeling it, or he or she, I can be receptive to that. I can't really get with you done brought the new friend and she just sitting there like, nah. Then
people are real finicky about their space.
Because then now I feel like we got to go in a group message like, listen, girl,
evaluate this. It's a vibe. I'm not feeling it.
Yes. Because they can be real standoffish, especially females sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's so weird sometimes. So
if I go into a group, I always try to be like, put myself more out there. I'm like, I want these people to like me. Like I'm entering their friend group. I know what it is, Right. I have to like, be inauthentic and not be myself, but like, I want to be nice. It is hard to meet friends as an adult. And I feel like we don't want to waste our time either. Like I'm not trying to waste my time on a new person because the time is precious.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Yeah. You never know.
Kimi, you letting friends in or new friends?
Yeah, I'm open to it. I'm always open to letting new people in. But like Millie said, I don't want the vibe to be weird. I think a lot of people are standoffish because they're like, this is my friend. A lot of people feel like they're in competition. They might be fighting for it. Some people write their own narrative for everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's never that deep. So I'm always open to it and then just go off the vibe from there. If you ain't a good vibe, I don't want it. Yeah. But I'm going to welcome you initially.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes the person, I don't know, they like end up in the friend group. And it's like, how do you, when you have to like deal with them, that can ruin everything. That can ruin the dinner party, the vacation, like all of it. What do you like? Do you like
we just communicate?
Kind of nod or
communicate?
Communicate.
Hold up, never again. Never again.
See, I find like for me, it seems like if somebody brings in their friend, I find it a little hard if that's like really they homie, they like they friend to be like, listen, girl, next time leave your girl at home. Like some people like, oh, that's my best friend, and they vibe together, but collectively, it's just not a thing. Like it don't work. So I find it a little hard to be like, oh, now I feel like I gotta look at my friend like, oh, I don't know if I can invite her because she might bring her girl with her.
Yes.
Like I find it real hard to tell somebody like, nah, we don't want the girl. Like,
and that is a real thing. And then on like kind of like the flip side, it's like I definitely have certain people in my life who I wouldn't bring to a certain group, but then I know I'm not gonna bring that person to a certain group. Right. You know what I'm saying? I have a certain friend that's very volatile. She's just ready to like pop off the handle. Any little thing, she's hostile. Like she's grilling you. She's what? Huh? Like anything you say is like, you're trying to attack her in some way. And I'm like, yo, it's never that. Yeah. I'm not trying to destroy you. Relax. But then I know how she is, so I'm not gonna bring her into like a circle because I already know how she's gonna act. Like the person that brings them in has a little bit of a responsibility as well. Like I know I could deal with this person, but I know that's difficult. I don't know if like my friend group is ready for that yet.
Right.
I was thinking that like most of the time, the person bring that person in, they know the dynamics. They know if they'll click, if they'll click with the people, they know if they're standoffish, if they're weird. Like some people just are weird. They're not good with meeting new people. They're automatically standoffish. So why bring that in? And then you got to mediate.
Yeah. You got to work that person in.
Yeah. Like if you know your friend, I don't know, just be in certain moods, you know, like, all right, they ain't going to be. I ain't got time to be hoping for the best.
Right.
It's really a time thing. Like I don't have time to be wasting on trash people.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And you also like, I was just thinking, like, you want the people in your circle to have something to offer. That's another thing. A person comes in and they don't have nothing to offer. They just sit there. They don't speak. They're not joining the conversation. They don't have nothing to cook to bring to, like, now, like, why? That's another thing. Like, you want, just a mix. G in the comments today said everybody don't mix.
No, they don't. No, they don't. So if your friend brings somebody toxic around and
difficulties.
What up, they know, brother G. They know. I forgot my question.
If you know your friend is toxic, did you say toxic, or I made that up in my brain?
I don't know. I don't remember where I was going. I don't remember.
Until you get it. Listen, y'all, it's brunch. I am not playing. I'm practicing for Thanksgiving. I made a whole banana pudding.
I have me a plate. But it's getting cold.
I brought a snack.
Yes.
Come on, snack. And I got me a bottle, but I cannot get it open.
Struggled.
Oh, you was ready.
I was ready.
It came out good too. I don't know if you know about Magnolia Bakery. They have like this delicious banana pudding. So I found like their little copycat recipe.
Oh, you made it?
Yes, I made it.
Want to look good?
I do know them because I want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
They have like red velvet banana pudding.
Yep, and now
all
they have
different types of flavors.
Yep, and it's not like overly done. Like it's nice and like the texture is creamy. The bananas are fresh.
Yeah.
Like the cookie pieces still have a little bite to them.
My goodness.
I had had Friendsgiving this past Friday, and somebody had brought some Magnolia banana pudding. But that's another thing. Like when you want to get together with things like that, you just don't want anybody killing the vibe.
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come and enjoy myself. I just want to know it's a sure thing. Like ain't gonna be no mess.
So if you got a friend who has this toxic friend, like, are you standoffish with inviting them, thinking they're going to bring this person around, or if they're going to come to the event? Millie's familiar with this.
Tell us the tale, girl.
So to me, I don't know. I'm a chances type of person. So, all right, maybe that event might have not been good. Maybe us going to the club might have not been a thing. But maybe in a more intimate setting, they can kind of be like, all right, now I can see everybody for who they really are versus if we were out drinking or, already vibing. And then you just kind of came in and everybody like,
Right.
You feel like you missed whatever was going on. So maybe in a more intimate setting, it'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
Let them feel comfortable. And with me, I might have to put a little more effort forward to kind of ease them into the group and kind of ease everybody into like what type of person they are, especially if the friend group is my friend group and I'm bringing a new person in.
That's good. I think that's important. That's how you know that you good people in a friend group and the dynamics, giving the person a chance, trying to ease them in.
Yeah.
Help them in, and
you'll see how it goes. But you're being considerate of everybody,
right?
Yeah.
And that ain't everybody.
Some people don't care. Wow. I mean, you got people who like that. They be like trying to see. They're entertained by it.
Yeah.
Comfortable with chaos and stuff like that. That's another thing. When you love somebody and they have all these amazing qualities, and that's how you end up with the person who you can't bring to the friend group. Because part of them, is amazing, but then they have these other qualities that are absolutely toxic.
Absolutely.
So because like that same friend, I love her. She's like there for me in a minute. If I need something, she will show up. And like that's a beautiful type of friend to have. You know, she's very reliable. But she's also angry like that. You know, as soon as we get in the car, let somebody make a false move. And I'm like, ready to kill them. I mean, been with her, jumped out of the car, went to the other person, opened their car door and was yelling at them. I was like, you want to get stabbed. Like you want to, that person was in their vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and most people are ready.
Yes, they are.
And we in New York. Like,
yeah, with this climate, yes, they're very ready. Okay.
I was like, don't do that. That's very bold of you to just touch somebody else. Like I felt violated seeing it. I'm like, what would I do in that situation? Like I'm not.
You said enough. You're in New York.
Something like that's too much.
I don't want it. I don't want new parts. I think that it'll be in the back of my mind. I'm trying to think if I've ever had that situation where somebody had a friend that I didn't want to be around. But I know I would automatically be in my head wondering and thinking, hoping that it'll be better the next time.
Yes, totally. I've had to like end a friendship basically because of that toxic cycle. I feel like I talked about this in the podcast before. It was years ago, but I had met a friend through work. We became really close. So we started hanging out and, you know, like our friends started joining together. Like I have a million cousins, my cousins or whatever. And then it was my friend's man and my coworker's sister started talking. So now that's already weird. Like we're friends. I don't know.
I got it.
They're like 2 degrees of separation or whatever. So the only way they could have met was if we were in this situation. And so they became friends, but then that's also my friend's man. And she didn't know that they were like texting and like started hanging out and stuff like that. From what they said, it was completely like platonic. Who knows when it's between a man and a woman? Like, I want to believe that. But then also, like, why aren't you being honest about it? Like, why are you talking to her behind her back? So then the circle got weird because now I know that he's talking to her. My friend doesn't know.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not involved in that at all because I know I'm supposed to tell her, but I also want to mind my business.
But then loyalty.
Yeah.
You know? I ended up telling my friend, like, yo, this is like messy that's going on. He ended up buying her a watch, taking her out to dinner. Like,
hold up.
Platonic.
I don't think this is friends anymore.
No, that's not platonic.
It might have been no intimacy to that degree, but dinner and a watch. I ain't take my friend out now. We can do dinner. I ain't buying her the damn watch.
You know, we live together. You out here spending our money that we could be spending on our kids on a secret watch. No, kids? Yes. Yes.
No.
So like now I had to remove myself completely. I felt so like overwhelmed and I was younger. I was like in my early 20s. So like I wasn't mature enough to just like handle it and be honest with everybody. Like, yo, this is messy. Like, don't, you know, whatever. I ended up talking to my friend and be like, yo, I don't know what's going on with your sister, but I was like, this is making me like feel uncomfortable. It's weird. Like it's inappropriate. Mm-hmm. And then conversations started getting around. I'll tell a friend something. It comes back to me through the other side because they're talking. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, I can't do this. I don't want anything to do with it. And it kind of blew up a little bit, but then like we all separated. But to find out, and I don't know if they'll ever see this, they might, they are still talking to this day. And they like my friend and him are no longer together. So he's with somebody else. But that girl, he still talks to her. And all the rest of us stopped talking to each other. And I was like, yo, that's very interesting. And, you know, Instagram posts, you just, see somebody somewhere like, oh, haven't seen that person in 10 years.
So adult you, in that situation, you would tell your friend, well, older than, your early 20s.
No.
I would. And I would tell him to his face. I would say, what you are doing is wrong and it's inappropriate and you shouldn't be doing it. I might give him a chance to stop. Like, yo, like, I see you stop. I don't know if he would,
Yeah, yeah.
I would tell. I would tell her. I would have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't know what he's gonna do. All he's gonna do after that is hide it from me. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof, but I hate getting involved in stuff. I really just want to mind my business.
Okay. Well, then
that's
what about men and women being friends?
Back me up, yo.
What open the box, Pandora's box to that conversation?
I want to say that if people are evolved enough, that it's possible. But I know that certain situations, certain vibes, certain amount of liquid courage or whatever makes your vibe, and I feel like a thing can become a thing sometimes.
Yeah,
not even intentionally.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I don't think they can be friends. Okay, I tell people this day in and day out. You cannot be friends because it might start off, a little mutual thing, but say you're having a relationship issue, you go to the guy. Oh yeah, this and this. You don't never know his motive.
You gonna lay right here, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
And now he knows there's a little crack in the situation in your relationship. So now he can slide on in like, listen, if it was just me, I would never treat you like that. And in a vulnerable state, you may feel like, oh, you know what? You're right.
And this is my good friend.
Yeah. Yes. And you like, oh, he my friend. And I know this, and this about him. And I know how I don't think they can be friends at all. At all. I don't care. If a vulnerable time comes, someone will seize the moment. Okay?
And that's the part that I agree with. I don't always think the person wants to cheat or is intentionally being like disrespectful. I feel like you end up in a situation, you're close with this person, that boundary can easily get crossed because you feel comfortable. And you're like in the moment, you probably really want to do it. That person makes you feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like you didn't have this close relationship, it would not be the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. But then it's also like, and I think we talked about this at some point also, if you're a person in a same-sex relationship, then is it that do you not speak to anybody? Like
right.
That would be a lot.
I know, you only talk to opposite sex people,
right.
like
oh yeah.
I think that it would depend on the vibes and what you're feeling or not feeling. Like you hold up. There's too much happening here. This is not appropriate. The way they're talking, the way they're looking, how close you are, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, though, because, like...
Can I add another layer before you
I don't know what that would be considered. Like, the only thing I can think of as far as closeness is, like, if you go out to the club, I've danced with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Friends, partners, whoever, like... We all just have a good time. I think it comes down to the security of your relationship.
Can I add another, like a slight other layer? Because you are married, is it different to have single friends around rather than friends who are in relationships?
No, I don't think about it at all. I mean, I don't think about much. No. Not for me. But I've heard that theory, like no single friends, only married friends. Like that is too many layers. But that comes down to the toxicity of what relationships are. People not having self-control, maturity, respect for their other half. That's a lot. Like, are we in a relationship where we can continue to live our lives individually and together? Or do we need to write out 1,000 rules? Like, when does it become unhealthy? For me, like, I never be like, I never heard that name before. Who is that? Right. That might happen to me at times, but it's still not to the extreme. It's just like, who that? I never heard that person before. So.
But then there are some people who are like maybe in a position where they are like this social type of person. They're around a lot of people a lot. Or maybe, the movie star, the basketball kind of thing, or the sports player. Mm-hmm. It's like sometimes in your relationship, you end up having to like make these sort of like concessions or sacrifices because of just like the type of person you're with or like the circumstances of your relationship. And for me, this goes into like the long distance stuff and too, like, can you do long distance? Like, what are the rules about that? You know, how are those boundaries set up?
We met. I was, you know what, Millie?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I feel like, you know, the saying, the heart grows fonder, the distance, something like that. I don't think that's true. I just think it gives, yes, y'all can be strong, but it's only so much strong somebody can give.
You think it gives like a leeway, a doorway?
I do, because, okay, you figure if you're whatever, okay, your man and woman travels, whatever the case may be, y'all got the strongest bond, him going away for 6 months. You might be grounded, like, that's my man, but you can't really, you don't know. They are however many miles away, and it's been this great distance. You can't expect that every time they're going to go away, you know, you're not going to cheat. Like, I don't know. I don't think all men are cheaters. I will put that disclaimer out. I do not believe that. But I also feel like distance is not healthy for a relationship, and not over a long period of time either.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I'm not able to have a long distance relationship. I just like to be close.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a preference. Like, I want the person I'm with to be close to me. When I get moody, I get moody, whatever it is. I want to be able, you know, if I can reach out somehow, if it's not this moment, the next day or something like that. I don't want to have to really plan a trip to go do it, because then that puts me in a certain space. And I feel like at that point is when I'm like needy and having the moment where I might think, you know, start to think about what's possible.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it's a case-by-case basis. I met this guy who was in a long-distance relationship. I think that his partner was in Brazil. He was in Philly, but they were in an open relationship.
Okay.
So the thing was, they could have other partners, but out of respect, that element was not discussed. You never talked about who you were dealing with.
Okay.
So, you know, like some people, that's what they live. Some people aren't built for monogamy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody says that out loud, but that's
Did
what.
you ever talk about it at all? Like, was it established and then you just never spoke about it after, or was it just like, we kind of know this happens and we just don't?
Yeah, you just know about it and that's just what it is.
Oh, no. I wouldn't even.
Right. Because what's the limits for that? There's no control there.
Yeah.
Because if I'm calling you and you're not picking up my calls because you're out here fucking, not gonna work for me.
Right. And then, like, how you cut that off though? How do you cut that off when a person comes like, hey, listen, my man's coming this week. He's gonna be here for 3 months.
Those outside elements you can't control. Like, what if you meet somebody who's not about your openness, and who's clung onto you, and then they got an issue?
Yeah,
they're ready to burn down houses.
Because, you know, they got to go away now because Maine is in town.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Because people be vindictive. You never know what they'll try to do.
Yes. They blow up your phone the whole time that person is there. Like, I told you not to disrespect me. Your time was last week.
Right.
Okay, so how do y'all feel about open relationships, and what does that mean to y'all?
I think I'm the case-by-case basis for that one. I feel like it has to be that communication in the beginning. What are we okay with? What are we allowing each other to do? What it was not okay, a deal breaker? Yeah. Because I can't leave that too open, because
some you want to check in, do you want details?
No, I don't think so. It depends on how into the person I am. Sometimes I'm like super possessive if I don't know, but sometimes not. I'm like, oh, with that girl, I have work to do. Like,
I don't know how I feel about that. It's a lot. You would need some clear rules. Most of the time, shit fucks up because you got people who want to still sneak and cheat, even though they got the world.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Case by case, day by day.
Would you see yourself in an open relationship?
No, I was with a cheater, and I think that I presented that once.
Okay. Okay.
I was a youngin. And I'm like, all right, well, should it be open? Like, what's up?
Right, because you want to stop.
And they were like, no.
So they didn't. So it was the thrill. It had to be
Right.
You know, they be the most dramatic, even though they commit the crime. No. It's already open.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I'd be down for that.
No.
Yes,
but I mean, some people are in open situations where they're living together and they know about each other and they got different titles, but it's just that complicates things. Dealing with one person is enough, and trying to manage emotions and situations. Now, if you're bringing in a check, if it's a multi-income household, maybe we can work out some things.
Yeah, I mean, we living in a 3-family townhouse somewhere nice in the city, and then we got a farmhouse as well, and a vacation home somewhere. We are going to be a big old happy family. I'm doing dishes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Let's break it.
Here is the schedule.
Gonna be well-oiled machine in here.
Jeesh alleges that he likes close relationships.
I agree. I feel like when people, I feel like open relationships is, I feel like I'm missing something. That's why I'm trying to like add in this extra. I don't know what it is, or why they feel like, you can't tell your partner this. And I don't even know if your partner can really fulfill whatever you're looking for. But I just feel like it'd be like, you're missing something. Like, I feel like I'm not getting what I need, so I got to get another person for it.
But what if that is the case? What if you really love your partner, but there's just something like, an example, I feel like this has happened to me where my partner was just not as affectionate as I liked. And in those times, like, I feel like they just were not able to get to the place that I needed them to get to. Like, and I'm thinking, that's when you want like another person there to be like, I love you for all the good qualities you have, but this part is really missing.
Yeah.
And I've actually communicated that before. I don't know how it lands, Obviously it hasn't worked, but like, I feel like if you do have that need, you should be able to tell somebody that, not that it's any less hurtful.
Yeah.
Right.
Not that it's any less hurtful, but I feel like as human beings, we have those feelings where you really, like, I love you to death, but like this part, like, it's not working for me. Do you just like leave the person and be like, well, then it's not working, I need to find something different?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Okay.
I think that if people were more mature and had better communication, the world would be better.
Yeah.
But a lot of people can't say how they feel, say what they mean, be truthful, honest, straightforward. Like, it would be so much easier if you could just talk. Say what you feel and say what you need, say what you mean. And then most of this stuff will probably be A-okay.
And no matter how it lands, like you can't worry about that, because me finding out 5 years later that I was lied to for the first 5 years of my relationship, it's like, come on, like you feel broken after that. Like, what is my intuition doing?
Right.
That's a whole other thing. The lying, it doesn't sit well with me. I got a lot of problems, but I'm usually honest about my shit.
Yeah. Listen.
But do y'all think adults can handle honesty? Like honesty? Like full blown, I'm gonna just give it to you like this.
A lot of people can't, but you got to.
But no, they literally can't though.
They can't.
Y'all watch Iyanla Advance. You've seen her when she talks to them people about the truth, and they just like will not admit it. I feel like that happens with people. Like, they literally get stuck and they're so used to living inauthentically that for them, like, telling a lie is nothing. Like putting on a whole front is nothing. Yeah.
The truth. I don't think I got an issue with hearing the truth.
I like it.
I think I'd rather that than to be strung along and not be clear and wondering and trying to figure out. Julia says, can't be broke and bringing in another broke person.
Show me
the money, baby. We can have an open relationship. Broke and depressed don't mix.
broke, depressed, and now I'm jealous.
No.
I'm good on all of it.
That's too much. Like I said,
Right.
is there going to be a multi-income household? What's your salary yearly?
Because
it ain't all about it, but we need it.
Turn the whole household into an LLC. We are now a Black-owned business because we're not wasting time in 2020 right now. The kids are working too. Everybody.
For real. It's real.
Yes.
That is so funny.
So this has been our first episode of Sunday Brunch. Woo! Super excited.
Thank you, Millie, for being here with us.
Yes, thank you. You have to come back. Now you're like one of our team. Yes. Until next time, family, have a beautiful Sunday, and we will see you live on Tuesday at 8 p.m.